When you're out at a club and you see a fly girl, do the creep, and do the creep.
Released in 2014 and is directed by Patrick Bryce, who's also directed such films like The Overnight, Creep 2, and Corporate Animals. Plus, he also stars as videographer Aaron in this movie, alongside the League's Mark Duplass, who plays Joseph. It is decided. And the reason why we're talking about Creep today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from a good friend and subscriber of this channel, Ben Knox. Thank you very much for this recommendation. I know you gave this to me around Halloween time last year, but I had already been scheduled out for the rest of the year, plus I took off November, so here in the month of January we're getting to all the requests that were sent over to me, and here it is. Here's yours. Thank you very much for supporting me and contributing to this channel, and if anyone else out there also wants to be like Ben and help support me and support this channel in any way, you can select the QR code that is in the bottom left corner of your screen right now. You can send over your donation of $5 or more with your movie recommendation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out just like what I did with Ben here. Creep is a found footage psychological thriller about videographer Aaron, who has been hired to drive out to a cabin in the middle of the mountains of California, where he meets the socially awkward and very strange Joseph, who says that he has hired Aaron to film the next couple of days of him just living his life because he has just found out he's been diagnosed with terminal cancer and is trying to make a little present video message for his unborn child. That's what he says, at least. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's been 10 years, I guess. I'm not going to spoil too much, but this is a psychological thriller. Let me just say this. That's not what's really happening. And you can tell that right away when Aaron shows up to this cabin in the woods. It's secluded, no one's home, until Joseph just randomly comes out and like does a little jump scare just to play around with him. And he does that a lot in this movie. This film is a found footage movie, so all of the recording, everything that we're seeing on screen is from Aaron's little camera, whatever device he's using. So we see all the jump scares that Joseph is just playing around with and is having fun with. And a lot of the things that Joseph is saying in here, you just listen to it and you go, it's a little awkward thing to say, but I guess you're dying. You can say whatever you want. This is your video for your son, so okay. Still weird, though. Oh, you have a creepy-ass wolf mask that just hangs out in the closet. And apparently your dad wore that up here for, like, childhood nursery rhyme time to put you to sleep. I mean, looking at that mask, it is a terrifying wolf mask, and if my dad put that on, or if anyone put that on when I was a kid, hell, even nowadays, in my elderly years watching this movie for the first time, I was freaked the fuck out, and I wouldn't be able to sleep with that. This movie was so fucking creepy, which I guess that was the whole fucking point, wasn't it? And I don't think the term creepy, or in this case, the title of the movie, Creep, is only applied to Joseph. Aaron here is doing some creepy-ish things too. He gets this anonymous email, or I guess he answers a random post that he finds online of saying, hey, just anyone who has a video camera and loves shooting, come on up to this address, please be discreet, please don't say anything to anyone, and just shoot for a couple of days. I don't know, for me, that's kind of creepy. I would want to do reconnaissance, I would want to have an email conversation with this person to make sure that this is not a serial killer. I would also want to bring someone along with me, just so I have someone that I can rely on and who can oversee everything that's going on. But no, Aaron just drives up to this random person's house, in a cabin, in the woods, in the mountainside. I think they're in California or somewhere on the West Coast. So part of me for this movie is just thinking, you know what? You kind of put yourself in this predicament, you idiot. What did you expect was going to happen? And it's a two-man show. This is a small, independent, found feature film. It's only an hour 20, hour 25 with credits. It's a pretty short movie in the standard of a horror film of like an hour and a half. But what it sacrifices in spectacle and grandeur, it makes up for in the story and in the character, which are the two most important things when it comes to any narrative and any film that you go to see. The relationship between these two men, it's so, it feels forced, but there's also moments where it's a beautiful thing and they actually share in real emotion and real connection and love with each other. But then there are also moments when someone asks a question that's a little too personal or just says something that's a little out there that, okay, yeah, people have their fetishes, people have their kinks. I don't have the same ones, but yeah, I understand that people do out there, and I guess if it makes you happy, then fine, cool. I wish I wouldn't have learned that when I was alone with you in a cabin in the woods, all by myself with no cell service. I wish I would have learned that earlier, but shame on me. You know? But Patrick Brice, I think, does an excellent job as Aaron, along with directing this thing. It's always a difficult challenge to direct a film, and it's even more of a challenge to direct a film and also be a character and perform in the film itself. But it was a found footage movie, so I think it makes a lot of sense. If you're the director, if you want to know where you want the camera to be positioned, where you want it to be looking, why not just throw yourself in there and make it just a little bit faster of a process in the editing room? And Mark Duplass, who I know from The League, which is an amazing show if any of you have ever seen it. It's a bunch of idiots who play a fantasy league with each other. It's hilarious, and he is a great part of that show. He's more of the straight man of that show. He does a couple of crazy, hilarious things in it. I'm not going to say that he's not funny, but he is more of the straight man. And his sense of humor that you see from him in that show finds itself in here too. And it plays so well with the creepiness of this character of Joseph. You don't know what to believe with this guy. You definitely know there's something off, but you also feel bad for him because he's dying. And so why not just allow him to do the things he wants to do, because he only has like a month, maybe a couple of months to live. But then as things start revealing itself, you go, wait, that's... I need to get the fuck out of here. I wasn't expecting much from Creep. The promotional material, the poster, everything seemed pretty hand-me-down, very basic stuff, but that's part of this movie's charm, and those aspects is what makes this film work so well in the psychological thriller realm. If you want a good scare, if you want good jump scares that are not just there for gratuitous, oh, it's a horror film, so we need to have jump scares in here. No, these jump scares add to the atmosphere. They add to the tension. If you're looking for that, please go see this movie. I didn't know what to expect, and I ended up having a creepy time, but it was a great time being creeped out. I'm going to give Creep 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
So guys, if you've seen Creep, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button to make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.